Happy birthday, Grandma. My Grandma Kate would have been 109 years old today.
All right. Happy birthday, Grandma Kate.
She passed away when she was 80. And the cool thing about her is long before influencers and all the rigmarole today about health and habits and whatnot, she was living it. The way she lived back then is exactly what the health world is trying to rediscover.
Yeah, you're right. That's kind of, she was at the end of where that was normal life. Now everybody's trying to get back to the old normal because I think they figured out it's better than what we have now.
This is after the Industrial Revolution, but she lived out in the country, past the city limit sign.
Was there a honky tonk?
You know what? They did a lot of polka.
Oh, the
Polka
county line.
dancing.
All right.
Absolutely. She
Roll
had her
out the
little group
barrel.
of friends where they would go out on Saturday night and dance, or they do it downstairs. She had a fabulous basement with a glitter ball. But she was one of those women who raised 10 kids. My mother was number 5. She had chickens. She had a cow. My mother had to butcher chickens. Actually, I think she maybe didn't do it, but she would describe how grandma did it. You lay them over the thing, you take the axe, and you probably know about this. Well, you raised show chickens. You didn't eat your chickens.
Well, I had regular chickens. My grandpa didn't like to eat chicken because when he was a kid, he had to butcher them for some cafe.
And then they run around without their head, like a lot of people today. No, but homesteading before Pinterest. Like she didn't have to check Pinterest. We can, I told my Aunt Lulu, who does all the same things. I said, you could be Martha Stewart of the Midwest. You could YouTube a day in the life of all these things she does with the gardening and the canning and the having your own food and the strudel. She's like, no, I'm good.
But then we could go over there and hang out with the Snoop Dogg of the Midwest, whoever that is.
Well, she didn't do it for attention or to have reels or TikTok. She just does how she's living. She had to have food for her family. She loved to fish. So fish, beef. Actually, I don't think she had a cow for beef, maybe for milk. And one time it got loose. My poor mama had to take a bucket of feed and go down the street until the cow followed her home. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I think my parents had the same thing with the cow we had, except they lived on a highway.
They lived on Faro. So right now, my grandmother's house where my mother grew up is literally in the hood because Kansas City, Kansas expanded. But at that time, it was out in the country where you raised your own food. My mom was the first one in her family born in a hospital. The rest were born at home.
Wow, that's cool. I always wanted a big spread out in the country. Then I'm like, wait, how close is that to a hospital?
Close enough.
I'm like, I forget I have needs.
You do have needs, but it's not like on the daily you're going to the hospital. You're not sick or anything like that.
Yeah, and plus back then, people took care of their own needs.
Right.
We have neighbors.
All these do-it-yourselfers, because that's how they live. We have to preserve and remember the ways our grandparents did it. So people our generation are now the grandparents, literally, have adult children. If you're not a grandparent yet at our age, you're going to be soon. I have a grandbaby. And these kids get on a screen immediately. I'm not criticizing my son or his parenting or his wonderful wife, but it's just a different way of life. And before, kids would play outside and they'd get dirty and get in the mud. I don't know if Reese gets in the mud. I hope he does. I'm sure he does. He has amazing parents. But we're so far removed from, quote, the olden days. I think we need to bring the olden days back.
I think that's a great idea. Like, how are we going to do that?
I don't know, but you were going to ask me more things. My mother gave me this book that Okay, go ahead.
I was just about to ask you about that.
Go ahead, start over.
All right, so, Angela, we're going to do that. And I was working on a segue into this. Let's just do it. Share with us the book you found that your grandma gave to you.
No, my mom gave me this old book. It's called Mirror Mirror, 1960, and it's about beauty, which is weird. She's like, this was your grandma's book. And my grandmother was not like into beauty. Like I said, she had a hat she wore for fishing with the bait on it. She wore like, an apron a lot. She'd be out in the garden in her short pants, just living her life. She probably got all dolled up on Saturday to go polka or to go to the bowling alley, because of course you did.
Yeah.
But she didn't dye her hair. And I remember my mother telling me, anyway, this beauty book is like Habits of Health. I was flipping through and I was reading parts of it. It's literally the habits of health. And the guy is like, beauty comes from within. Don't be sucked in by all the look. I sold makeup and skincare for a very long time. It was great. But then when I discovered the program I got on to get me healthy, I was like, I'm way better looking now. Forget all the chemicals and the whatnot. And beauty does come from within because I drink a lot of water. I have the habits of health. I stopped dyeing my hair. I don't know if that changed my health, but I'm trying to be more natural, work with nature instead of against it. So I totally believe in the habits of health for beauty and health. The guy says, get your beauty sleep. And also there's a big part about how women are far superior. No offense. I'm going to read some. You can talk if you want. Fragile. Fragile.
Yeah, book written by Gaylord Hauser.
Gaylord Hauser.
Not a very common name nowadays.
What up, Gay? You women of today have curiosity and a sense of adventure. You know the value of material things, but you also know that things of the spirit are more important.
Gaylord knew what he was talking about.
Gaylord knew what was up.
Yeah.
May we all be more gay. But anyway, I was decluttering and I'm like, this old book. Well, my grandma gave it to me. My mom gave it to me. Let me read it. Because old books are so flippin' valuable because today people are rewriting things and people are changing like ancient wisdom that we've always known. Foraging has become a huge thing. You know what that is?
Yes, I do.
You go out in the backyard and you find food. Yummy, grass. But you have to know what to eat to not unalive yourself. You have to say unalive these days, not kill.
Oh, yeah, YouTube likes that too. Yeah, you got to know where you're foraging at. But there are all kinds of things like people make jelly out of dandelions. I remember my grandma talking about stuff.
You can do so much with dandelions.
It's like stuff that just average. Everybody knew this stuff.
Everyone knew.
How do you do that?
Dandelion tea. You want me to put what in my cup of hot water? A root from the garden? Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating. I am not look, I'll be honest. We like our convenience. I like to go to the store and grab me a pound of chicken and come home and put it in the air fryer. I'm not going to be unaliving a chicken for you to eat. Sorry. It's not happening.
Okay. Why?
So there has to be a balance between convenience and health. My mother would tell us she wasn't going to buy us the ding dongs or the ho-hos because you know what's in there? Chemicals. And me and my brother would be like, we love our chemicals. We don't care. We're kids.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't let us eat a lot of crap. And I really believe having that foundation made it so easy for me to incorporate habits of health for my life. Now, I'm not going to lie. It was hard to quit the Taco Bell, quit the bread for when I was in fat loss phase. I didn't eat bread, rice, pasta, things like that. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just something it's a lot of protein and vegetables, natural food.
Especially when you don't know where it's being made, what's being put in it.
You have no idea what's in it. Well, even our farm animals, we don't know what's in it. A lot of stuff.
Yeah, my grandma made homemade bread all the birthday, Christmas, whatever. You got a loaf of homemade bread from grandma.
I love that.
And homemade is just store-bought is not homemade.
It's not bread. You've got people in other countries. Look online. People are TikToking and British people react to American food and they open a plastic bag of our spongy bread. I mean, when you're used to it and you eat it all the time, yes, you think it's delish. But when you eat homemade, real, natural, good bread that grandma made, woo, it's not even the same thing. It's not even in the same food group.
Yeah, see, there's so many things that were natural that society's forgotten about. I can't tell you what exactly it was. There was some kind of like disease, sickness that we didn't have a cure for.
COVID?
No, a real thing. Somebody in England found some old record that from a witch, back when they cured this thing, which I can't think what it was, from this 1,000-year-old secret that everybody knew back then.
Well, this is why it's so important to keep history alive. I mean, history was probably your favorite subject, definitely mine, definitely Xavier's. But different parts of history, like food history, it's so important.
Yeah, I don't know much about food history.
You got to find out. You got to go watch that Food That Built America.
Well, one thing I've done is I've gone to ChatGPT, looked up my ancestry, and I'm like, what kind of foods did my ancestors eat? And at some point,
It tells you that?
yeah, I'm going to do that thing. Like for mine being all European, no
Right.
corn, no potatoes, a lot of other stuff, and your body's going to be more used to that thing.
People think, oh, Irish, potatoes, but potatoes are not Irish.
No, and a lot of us are intolerant to them.
Explain.
Angela's intolerant to potatoes.
What do you mean potatoes aren't Irish, Dr. Russell? He's an anthropologist. He would know.
They come from South America, and when somebody brought them back from South America, people are like, "What is this thing?" Somebody ate it, but it became popular. It was easy to
You
grow,
think of potatoes when you think of Ireland
so
these
they
days.
sent it to Ireland to grow, and it totally destroyed the Irish soil because they didn't know how to really farm it, and that's what led to all the starving
The
and the
famine,
migration.
Irish
Yeah,
potato famine.
yeah, the migration to America because they destroyed their soil.
That is crazy. Which, by the way, this is going to come out on St. Patrick's Day. So
Oh, hey, all right, this goes out to all my Irish people,
I'm wearing green. It's light green. It's hard to tell on the camera, but it is indeed green.
and I am part Irish. Kiss me, I'm Irish.
One thing my mother would always tell me, shop the perimeter of the grocery store. Because think about it, you've got the produce, the bakery. Well, on ours it was the frozen, but the meat, the perimeter down the aisles with all the packaging. And the other secret, if you want a quickie cheat sheet for the grocery store to be more healthy, the less packaging, the better. Because you get the Twinkie and it's in the plastic, which is then in the cardboard box.
Yeah.
You don't need that much packaging. If your another trick, she told me 3 tricks. If grandma didn't eat it, you shouldn't eat it either.
Well, my grandma would not eat anything with like that was blue. Like blue frosting? No. I had a birthday cake with blue frosting. My grandma would not touch that.
Aunt Lulu made Nicholas a Cookie Monster birthday cake once. She put the blue. Oh my gosh, that Cookie Monster frosting was so dark. We were all like, but it was delicious because she's a great cook. But yes, food coloring.
My mom made me like a Grover. I had this computer game called Astro Grover or something.
Like Grover from Sesame Street?
Yeah. She also made me a goofy cake and a Donald Duck.
But even the food we eat today, like the Fruit Loops, you read the ingredients. This is all over the internet too. They show the ingredients from the 1980s when we were little, and then today. It's not the same. They've created things. It's like lab created food. So this world is really not made for you to have optimum health. You have to be intentional and work on it. And that's why we're here. And we do this every day. Yes, I would love a Twinkie, but guess what? After I eat it, my body's like not going to be happy. When I eat chemicals today, it's no bueno. I might enjoy it in the moment, but I know I'll pay for it later.
So, Angela, you mentioned the grocery store, like some tips for that. What are some other tips for having fresh food?
Well, I'm planting my garden right now. Not everybody can garden, but they make a lot of gardening things you can do in an apartment. You can get like the grow lights on Amazon. But so besides the gardening, you just really have to buy the health food stores is like natural food, but it's much more expensive.
You still got to read the label.
Oh, absolutely. Read the label. If you don't know what that is, maybe not eat it.
And also, how far away was it shipped from? Because they got to preserve stuff to ship it.
And you were talking about things being in season. You should eat things that are in season. Because if they're not in season, how real are they? Like, I'm not going to grow an avocado. We live in zone 6A. There's not going to be mangoes in our backyard. Maybe there is on the inside. I don't know. I don't want to work that. I don't know that much about gardening. My grandmother could have done it, but I can't do it.
So that is one thing about, I think it's part of the health problems we're seeing today, is it used to be people ate what was in their region. You know, you didn't.
Right.
People didn't travel more than 50 miles away from where they live.
I went to Hawaii. I tried pineapple.
Yeah, and now all of it's just here and available. I think the biggest thing is do some research about what would be in your natural environment where you live right now, or maybe where you grew up, and try to stick to those things as much as you can.
We want our food and we want it now. We're used to getting what we want on demand. It just is what it is.
But yeah, but if you're in an apartment, you can still grow something. They make those little herb kits. You can probably grow tomatoes.
Farmers markets.
Yeah.
Farmers markets are, you can find one every day of the week. You just have to look it up. They are Parkville, Miriam, they're all over the place. They really are.
Well, so what I'd like people to do if you're watching this, maybe you're not eating like what are you eating right now? Go out there, start finding the farmers markets,
Yes.
start eating fresh, eating the stuff that's where you are. Like, tell us how you feel after a month.
The problem is in a lot of these cities, there's a food desert. That's for a whole nother situation. Anyway, happy birthday, grandmother. Thank you for teaching me all the wonderful things. No, I didn't have 10 kids. Are you kidding me? My mother wanted to have 8 kids. Lucky for me and Alex, she just had 2. And lucky for her. And we have 2, a boy and a girl. I could not do another. The good Lord gives you what you can handle. So anyway, if you are so blessed to have grandparents still alive, go ask them some things. Get them talking. Please go visit an old folks home. I used to visit old folks home.
Oh man, they love visitors.
They love visitors, and they can tell you about their life when they were young. And you'd be amazed.
Like you go talk to grandparents, they got their grandparents that told them stories about their grandparents.
Yeah.
You could go way back there.
We really need to give older people a much more honored place in the world, I think. My mother will not be going to a nursing home. I'm not bagging on anybody whose mama or grandma's in the nursing home. Not at all. We're doing the best we can with our family. But we are lucky enough to have my mother who's about to be, I can't tell you, but it starts with an 8 and ends with a 0. And praise the Lord, we have her. And she told me I could move back in with her when she gets more senile so she doesn't know I'm there. We're there.
Yeah, of course. I don't know how she'll know what that is. Because if you're senile, you don't know you are senile.
We'd be like, Mother, you said to move in. You're senile, remember?
Go, there we go. That's how you do it.
No, she's pretty sharp. It's because of her habits of health. She won't eat chemicals either.
It's because of the great book, beauty book.
God rest their souls. My grandmother lived with a heavy smoker for 60 years, Grandpa. And I bet if she hadn't, she wouldn't have died when she was 80. I'm sure it didn't do a good thing for her lungs either.
No, it doesn't. How old is your grandpa?
80.
Oh, okay.
Well, he quit smoking. He put the cigarettes down. And he's like, I'm going to leave them right here on my side table. I have to know where they are. And I'm just going to quit. After 60, he just flat quit. A month later, cancer. Habits make a difference because we want to add years to your life and life to your years.
That's good. We should say that every week.
Things are going to happen. You're going to hit by a train, going to die from some random, I don't know what, but 9 of the top 10 causes of death currently in America are preventable by your habits. Not a guarantee for each and every individual person, but we can give ourselves a better chance of being well long into our elderly years, our golden years.
Yeah, you can have energy. Feel good. That's what's important.
I'll still be lifting weights when I'm old.
Good. And I'll still be cheering you on.
Everyone, you have a spectacular St. Patrick's Day. Please. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. You got me thinking. What's for dinner today?
We are going to have spaghetti squash tonight. My friend Tiff told me she will do squash no other way but in a crock pot. So I'm going to try the crock pot squash tonight. And then you can choose the protein. You want chicken or fish?
Oh, it's fish.
Do we have some pork chops left? Let's do fish.
Okay. Whatever you cook, it's going to be good.
Fishy fish in honor of my grandmother, an accomplished fisherwoman. But I didn't catch the fish. We're just going to get it out of the freezer.
But, all right, I'll let you finish now. I just needed to know.
Have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. You are amazing. Please don't get piss-ass drunk. And don't eat any potatoes, even though you're Irish.
Yes. And good luck finding that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Good luck to you as we chase that neon rainbow.
It's called health.
Ah, yes. Very good. He's so smart.
Look who I married.
Oh, shouldn't mumble.
Look who I married.